Hey there everyone, welcome to the Ukulele channel. Today I want to talk about this instrument. I recently reviewed it. It is the Woodi Plastic Soprano Ukulele, and I just wanted to follow up with some of the things I said in that review, which was I was talking about how there are a number of current options that far surpass this. This currently sells for $50 to $60, and it's not just in the new ukuleles, it's also the old ones, and I just wanted to demonstrate that here today. So that's what this video is all going to be about. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play a lick on this instrument and then play it on another instrument. Here is the Snowdon Symphony by Mark Pugh, who runs Stone's Music in the UK, and here it is. Alright, so the Woodi Plastic Ukulele has pretty high action, sounds kind of tubby, a really thick neck, and a 0 fret that's really far down from the nut. So that's the Woodi. About 10 years old, maybe not this instrument, but in terms of being a product. Now, let me show you another product. This is a Macaferri Islander, which was given to me by my friend Brown. It's one that he repaired. He repairs these as a hobby. I don't know if you can see that there. He glued it back together and got it in working order, and he gave this to me as a gift. So this is a very cherished ukulele to me for a couple of reasons. Not only is it a gift for my friend Brown, but it also represents sort of this last wave of popularity of the ukulele. So these were made in the 1950s and 1960s. I believe over 9 million of them were sold. These metal frets have not worn out. So if they're not pure metal and in there and plastic, whatever they were coated with has lasted through the years and a lot of playing. But here is the Snowdon Symphony on this instrument. Hear how much better that is? And again, it's a completely different material than the Woodi, which is ABS, but still amazing, isn't it? For something that was built in the 1950s and 1960s to far surpass something that was built in the 2010s. Now, let's go to a couple more modern instruments. I got into ukulele around 2016, and that's when about this instrument came out. This is the second generation or current generation of the outdoor ukulele soprano. I also have a first generation, but it has truly a square neck, and I just hold on to that as memento. Somebody sent it to me as a gift, and I love just having it, that first generation outdoor soprano ukulele, but they don't match in comparison to what they make today. Now, they also make a polycarbonate version of this. This is their bottled brown, just plastic version. So here we go. It's the other one is polycarbonate with carbon fiber. This one is just polycarbonate. So here we go. And these have been being made for, again, maybe last 6-7 years, maybe a little longer than that, but close to that. So since the Woodi was released, which one of these two would I have? Well, it'd be this one. The neck is perfection on this one. Now let's look at one more instrument. Believe it or not, I used to have a lot more instruments that were plastic, but I've given them away, most of them, or sold some of them. So I'm left with really these. This is the other one. This is an Enya. This is the Mini. This one was sent to me for review purposes, so just so you're aware of that. But here's something that's probably about 3 years old, sounds like. The new ones of these are even further improved with, I think, a nicer matte finish paint. They come with a strap-on, and they do come with side markers on the side. I just recently did an update on the Enya Nova Mini as well, but here's what this sounds like. those three other ukuleles, the Macaferri, the outdoor ukulele, and the Enya Nova. Number one, they sound better. Number two, they play better. And in the case of the outdoor ukulele soprano, this is being recorded close to Prime Day. Was just being sold again for $40 for Prime Day, whereas the Woodi is still being sold for $50 to $60, and that's the Enya Nova's selling point normally in that range. Plus, you get a case and some other things. So let's do one more demo with this. Let's do my fur elise that I normally do. So here's fur elise on the Woodi. All right, how about the Macaferri? How about the outdoor ukulele? And finally, the Enya Nova Mini. Now the question is ultimately is what did you think? As you listened to those, what did you think? What were you hearing? Really, I still think probably the best sounding of all is the Islander, which was built in the 1950s and 1960s. The Enya Nova Mini probably in sound comes next, and the outdoor ukulele next after that, and the Woodi way far after. Now, what is the benefit of one over the other? Well, with the Islander, you do need to be a little careful with it now because they are getting to be 60 to 70 years old. So you want to be aware of that. At the same time, the Enya Nova Mini, there are a couple things you have to be aware of. They're not completely indestructible. They can be damaged. Someone sent a picture recently on one of the Facebook groups of the top separating on theirs, and they were losing their mind and caused a whole nother wave of panic of people looking at their Enya Nova Minis, because the first panic was fret wear, which I have not experienced on any of my instruments, but I only run fluorocarbon strings on mine. So if you're running other strings, yeah, they may eat away at your frets on a plastic ukulele. That doesn't surprise me. If you're running like a Nile gut or a Nile gut sort of string, or a fluorocarbon string, you should be okay. But you switch to other strings, you're probably going to chew up your fretboard a little bit. However, when you're talking about playability, the Enya Nova Mini, I think, is a little more playable in terms of just feel than the Islander. The Islander is very good, don't get me wrong. But the winner in feel is the outdoor ukulele by far. And if you didn't know, the outdoor ukulele is modeled after a very famous ukulele in the ukulele world. I won't say what it's modeled after, but if you know ukulele shapes and so forth, you should know what that is. And my one regret with outdoor ukulele is that they don't offer a concert ukulele after all these years, because that's my scale. So I either bounce off of my tenor outdoor ukulele or my soprano. Now, if the outdoor ukulele doesn't sound as good as my Enya Nova Mini or my Islander, why do I keep this? Because this one is truly the indestructible of those ukuleles. Now, can you destroy one of these? Yes. Yes, you can. But you have to really, really work at it. And the other negative with it, of course, is that the price point of this is almost double of some of the other products. But you get that reliability. Now, could your tuners rust out? Sure, just like all of them. They could absolutely still rust out. But really, when you talk about a durable instrument and then the playability, it feels so good to play this instrument, and as well as the tenor. Just the setup is perfect, the neck is perfect. There's a reason why they molded it the way they did, and there's a reason why people really love these, even if the sound isn't fantastic. And they do say that the sound improves on the versions that have the carbon fiber in it as well as the polycarbonate. I don't own any of those yet. Maybe someday I will. I just probably wait until I see one used at a good price, and then probably I'll jump in on it. So with all that said, I just wanted to follow up on my video of this, and when I talked about the fact that there are other instruments in that $50 to $60 price range that are just so much better value in terms of what you're getting with playability and sound and setup, all that connected. That's what I'm talking about. So if you're going to choose a purely plastic ukulele, and we're not even talking about like the flight that has the flight travel ukuleles that have a laminate top. I'm not even talking about those. If you're talking about a pure plastic ukulele, I'd be pointing you at this point in time to look at the Enya Nova Mini or the outdoor ukulele. If that's what you're looking for, don't go here. The more modern versions of plastic ukuleles are far improved from what happened when this was introduced, or even the Waterman. The Waterman, I still say stay away from it. The new ones are different. You can adjust the saddle now, but the ones that I've seen are just not set up, and you'd have to ask a store to set it up for you if you don't know how to set it up yourself. And that's potentially an added cost on a very inexpensive ukulele that shouldn't have to be. They should be able to set them up from the factory with a plastic ukulele right from the start, get it right, ship it out, and just get it into your hands 100% playable. That is possible on a plastic ukulele. I can understand the challenges with a wood or a laminate ukulele and things changing and in shipment and humidity and all that, but when you're dealing with a plastic ukulele, so when it leaves the factory and arrives at a customer's door, it should be playable right out of the box. Yeah, you have to tune it up, but it should be playable right out of the box with perfect setup, unless you have like really picky, like you want a super low action or something. But that is inexcusable in 2023 when we know so much more than we even did 7-8 years ago in the ukulele world. And again, companies like Kala and Flight and Ohana have changed this for us because their products have been so good. They've pushed the industry forward so that so much of what you see out there is improved because the main manufacturers have said we need these standards, and then companies don't just put high standards for the products they're making. It changes the entire line that they're producing. And by the way, those factories in China aren't just making products for one company, they're making for many right off of the same assembly line. So if you put in those quality standards here, they're going to follow all the way through. So yes, if Woodi is still around as a company, and again, I can't find them out there on the web at all. If Woodi's still around as a company, it's time to revisit this design, just like Kala did for the Waterman, and fix the things that are wrong so it becomes a better instrument. Why not? It's time. All right. Thanks so much for watching the video. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll be back soon with some more uke stuff for you.